Deputy Minister Seiso Mohai delivered an address at the G20 Seminar on Public Good, Development Finance and Social Protection that's underway in Kempton Park. He says G20 nations must place inequality at the heart of economic policy making, as disparities in wealth and development both within and between nations are neither just nor sustainable. SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi is at the G20 seminar for us, and he joins us live. A very good afternoon to you, Katlego. What can you tell us?
A very good afternoon to you, Nompu, and of course to our viewers at home. South Africa's G20 presidency program really seemingly in full swing when you look at some of these events that are taking place across the country. So today you find us here in Kempton Park, where the Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation has joined SAPAM in their program. Also, we find the Tshwane University of Technology here forming part of those that have organized this seminar here. It's all about ensuring that dialogue is pushed here and we address some of the stumbling blocks and cross-cutting issues where the G20 presidency of South Africa is concerned. So here you find various of those role players really sharing their issues in terms of what they've encountered. We have civil society that is here. We have government that is here as well. You find also, organizations and entities that work within this space, just pushing to ensure that at least we capitalize on where we find ourselves, where the G20 presidency is concerned. The economy at the center of where we find ourselves here. And you're right there, the Deputy Minister just talking about the issues of inequality, where some of these issues around financing are concerned. And you know very well that our theme here as South Africa's G20 presidency would be around sustainability, around solidarity and equality. And they are pushing to ensure that all of these issues that have been thrusted here at this seminar are consolidated, and they would form part of a bigger document that will inform how we move as a globe, looking at the contributions of these G20 nations. I'm going to bring the Deputy Minister that is into the conversation right now, for Deputy Minister of the DPME, who joins us now to give us a sense of these gaps that you've identified as government. We find you really forming part of these solutions, part of these ambitions and targets that we want to achieve as South Africa. And you took to the podium to really more or less even paint a picture of the challenges that you have encountered, as well as government looking at rolling out some of these programs that will bring about a change. But we are in a G20 presidency here and looking to capitalize. Welcome to the SABC. How do we really take advantage of where we find ourselves as South Africa?
Thank you very much, Katlego. Today we have kickstarted our two-day program to deal with these pertinent issues, as you have highlighted. In the seminar today, we focus on innovation, we focus on research for development. We also look into cooperation, forging partnerships. We're doing this deliberately because we have to entrench an understanding in the country that G20 is important, and it's not just high-flown debates and discussions, but it's about development that must take place in our own country, but also use it as a catalyst for development to address economic growth and development. So the theme around solidarity, equality, and sustainability tells a story about South Africa. Currently, our development plan highlights that there's high level of inequality in our country, there's low economic growth. So today, particularly, we are looking into bringing the insights, sharing with not only as government, family, but have expanded ourselves through the association of public administrators and managers, and also entities of government, particularly even development finance institutes like DBSA, and look into public service sector, but look prominently on the kind of skills that our public administration requires, but also importantly, the skills that the market requires in order to and address the issue of economic growth and development. We are particularly concerned about high level of unemployment in our country. So we say G20 is an opportune moment for young voices to prevail. Hence, our understanding as planning, monitoring and evaluation is that youth must be at the center of programs of the G20, but government must be able to learn from the past, where we have failed to implement policies that are well thought of but the failure was either in the capacity of public administration. We should be able to jack up our public administration, immediately diagnose the kind of problems that we have, increase the pool of researchers in our country that are able to tell the story, because it's not about what we want to hear, but it's our capacity as Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation to change course, not tomorrow but now, to help government to learn from the 30-year review, where there's been glaring failures in terms of collaboration, coordination, and integration of government work. So those issues are those that must be implemented now. But I think the most important one is to ensure that there's agency to ensure that programs that are aimed at growing the economy, creating job opportunities are realized. So we are going to do more with regard to ensure that institutions like TVET institutions not only produce pool of graduates in those areas, but produce pool of young people that are able to even create work opportunities through the skills that they galvanize, that are received from those institutions. So I think that's one important area that we identify. So even the panels of discussions that we are having here are not merely just discussing in general, but is to propose a set of solutions that must emerge and also take these thematic areas of G20 much more seriously and implement them successfully.
DM, thank you very much for your time. Let me release you to go back to the panel discussion. Just coming out of these panel discussion, earlier on we saw the Statistician General, Risenga Maluleke, also just giving us a picture of what the numbers are telling us as South Africa right now. But we know very well that this G20 is a GDP of 85% of the globe, and most of them would be looking to really capitalize. And you hear the Deputy Minister here also just talking about some of the challenges that they've experienced as government, where there are these policies, there are all of these issues that are tabled, but the intervention part, that is something that where there's a shortcoming. But we see all of these conversations structured towards a document that will form part of South Africa's position going into the future. Nambu?
All right. Thank you so much, my colleague there, Katlego Legodi.